Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing our Crochet Cafe booklet that I got from Amazon. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we have our bento box. We've been doing this in the lunch series. If you've missed that, go ahead and check all those videos out. If you would like to get into this booklet, I left the link in the description box below. It's an Amazon link. I'm not affiliated. I just saw this book and I thought it was super ultra cute to do. I'm making these little snacks for my goddaughter's birthday. So as I am doing other kits, I am going to try to punch these out and then slip a kit in between. So bear with me on that. But anyway, so we have so far the egg, the rice ball, edamame, and our little octopus hot dog. Today we're going to be doing the cherry tomato. So let's set this aside for now. And then let's start looking at the instructions for the cherry tomato. These videos are a supplement to the booklet. If you want to make any of these projects that you see here, go ahead and check out that book. I highly recommend it. But yeah, you're not going to see so much of what I'm doing. I am going to do the stitches, new stitches at least 3 times, step by step. And then I'm going to go through each round. If there's any like weird happenings going on, I'll help explain that. Some of these instructions are a little difficult to understand. I'm sure it kind of explains it in the beginning of the book, but I'm here to just break it down for you. Alright, so we're going to need a 3.75 millimeter hook. I only have a 3.5, so my project's going to look smaller than yours. And then I'm also using, I don't even know if they call out a certain brand, but my yarns, they're all different. It's whatever I have in my bin. I try not to buy any more yarn because anymore, I don't have the space for it. But anyway, okay. So if you need to speed up or slow down the video, go click on the gear button in the corner. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talk, you could always lower the volume on your device and then click on the closed caption CC button. Alright, let's get started. We're going to have to make 2 of these tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. So we're going to do the magic ring. And you're going to want to take a bit of this red here. And I'm going to wrap it 3 times around my finger. And I want to make sure I have a little bit of this overage so that I can take my middle finger and just clamp it down. You can take this opportunity to straighten out your strands, maybe tighten them up. But I'm going to go grab my hook and I'm going to slip it underneath the 3 strands like this. So we are going to pull this back out and I'm going to drag this strand underneath these 2. So let's do that now. All right. So from here, we're going to yarn over, and basically that's putting this yarn over the hook. So let's yarn over like this, and now we're going to take this strand and pull it through that loop like that. All right, so now you can let go of your middle finger. You can slip the loops off of your index finger, and then we're going to gather up some yarn here. We have to do single crochet stitches, so let me show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is stick your hook into both of those loops. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over again and you're going to pull through those 2 loops, and that is a single crochet stitch. Let me show you again. Into the loops, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches. One more time with you guys. So into the magic loops, put in your hook. We're going to yarn over, you're going to pull up a loop, So you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So let me break these stitches down for you. We have 3 single crochet stitches right now, and they look like braids, and each stitch comes with 2 loops here. All right, and you're usually holding your project this way, so this would be considered the front loop and this would be considered the back loop. And this is all just a mental note in case we have to do anything funny later. But anyway, let's continue with the single crochet stitches. Just complete the number of stitches the booklet is telling you to do. Alright, and then after we do that, I'm going to show you how to do the to close the magic ring. So they call it a magic ring because you have a large hole and then you end up with no hole. So what we're going to do is you want to grip your lower stitches right here just tight enough to make it stable. Don't hold on to it too tightly or else you won't be able to pull anything. But yeah, so we're going to pull this excess piece and we're going to watch to see which loop goes into the magic ring first. So once we pull this and we identify the loop that's gone in first, we're going to stop pulling. So I'm going to pull right now. And then I already saw that this loop in the back started to move. So what we're going to do is pull that lower end out of that loop that moved. Don't pull it on this side, pull it out on this side. So take that side of that loop that moved and pull it. Now you're going to see the other loop disappear. You want to keep pulling till that loop is completely into the magic ring, like so. You might still have even the tiniest hole here. What you want to do now is make this loop disappear. So we're going to pull on this excess piece and we're going to pull on it till that loop is gone. And just to make sure that we've pulled all that we can out of this magic loop or magic ring, we're going to pull in the opposite direction and up. You're going to feel a little give, but not too much. You don't have to pull it all like really hard, but it will close your magic ring. So now I'm going to grab my marker. You do have to get these. It'll be very helpful for you. You can buy them in packs in the hobby store online and they're only a few dollars. A lot of them goes a long way. I have a whole little packet of it that I've collected over time. It's always good to have those around. Alright, so let's go on to the next round. This, by the way, is going to keep track of how many rounds you do when you have repetitive instructions, or it's also going to help you keep track of your stitch count because you'll at least know where the last stitch is and where to count back from. Oh, it's getting kind of late. This is like, I don't know how many videos I've done and my voice is cracking. And that's the feeder. I don't know if you can hear that too. Oh, a lot happening at night. Alright, so round 2, we're going to do the increasing stitch. So the increasing stitch is basically putting 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. So count back the number of stitches that the booklet wants you to have. Stick your hook into that last stitch. And again, we're putting 2 single crochet stitches in this stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then into that same stitch we just used, let's do another single crochet stitch. Try not to rip into your other yarn threads there. Okay, yarn over and pull through both loops. So we have 2 single crochet stitches in this 1 stitch. Alright, so let me show you how to do that again. Into the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, one more time with you guys. into the next stitch. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have about 6 single crochet stitches. We've pretty much, so to sum up, an increasing stitch pretty much just doubles the number of stitches that you have. So for this round, we're just going to complete the round with increasing stitches. So let's do that now. I'm going to remove the marker here and slip it under the last stitch we made. And then we're going to move on to the next round. So for the next round, we're going to alternate single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. So let's do that now. Alright, so after this round, the next few rounds are going to be the same instruction. So this marker is going to indicate round 4. So now I just got to get, I got my little baggie here. I'm just going to get a couple more of these, because if this is 4, 5, 6, I need one more actually, 7. So from rows 4 through 7, we're doing the same single crochet stitches. So like I said, these will help me keep track of what I'm doing. So I can stop, I can come back later, and I know that's the same stitches, and I just got to use up these markers to complete that section of instructions. So let's do that now. Alright, so for this example, we leave the marker here and we're going to use a new marker, and this is how you end up keeping track. This is 4, this is 5, 6, 7. Let me get some yarn here. All right, if you're finding that this curling in is annoying, like I am at the moment, you can flip this inside out. So what's happening is the natural curve of how we're doing these stitches. This piece right here is the wrong side of the project. You want to invert this and flip it inside out to get the prettier side of the project. So let's do that now. Just flip it inside out and you can see a huge difference. Obviously there's no piece of yarn sticking out there and you can see all the individual rounds. So that's how you know. All right, I'm gonna go back to doing these stitches. Last round. Some yarn here. All right, so I finished all of that. I'm just going to remove the markers because I don't need them anymore, except for one. I'm going to put this under the last stitch we made, and then we're going to see what we have next in our instructions. Okay, so for the next row, or round I mean, we are going to be alternating single crochet stitches with invisible decreasing stitch, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So do your single crochet stitch. All right, and then I'm going to show you how to do an invisible decreasing stitch. So basically we are going to be taking 2 single crochet stitches and making it into one. So before, when I showed you the components of a stitch, we're going to be using the front loops only. So in the next stitch, put in your hook, but you want to come in from underneath through the front loop. You're going to be splitting this braid here like that. Then you're going to go into the next stitch over, and we're going to come up under through the front loop and split the stitch in half like that again. The back loops are just chilling out here. So from here we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through both of these loops. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. All right, so let me show you that again. Into the next loop, put in your hook from underneath through the front loop only, then into the next stitch, come up from underneath through the front loop only. So now we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both loops, and then we're going to yarn over again and pull through those two loops. Alright, so let me show you this one more time. So into the next stitch, come up from underneath and put your hook through the front loop only, then into the next stitch, come up from underneath, push in your hook, front loop only. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through these two loops. Then you're going to yarn over again and pull through those two. Alright, so we're just going to continue doing this. Alright, place the marker, put it the last stitch you made, and then we're going to see what it says next. So now we have to add the safety eyes. I'm going to be sewing them in because I don't like to use the plastics for little children. Alright, so I have this leftover piece. Hopefully it's enough to use for the eyes and mouth, but if not, I'll just add more. Okay, so for the eyes, we're going to be placing them between round 6 and 7, about 2 inches apart. What I'm going to do here is pull this hook out because we have, it's heavy and I don't want it flopping everywhere. And we're just going to make this loop huge, and then I'm going to remove the hook. And I'm doing this so I don't lose that stitch. Now I can find a spot to, a side to put the eyes in. I'm going to count to rows 6 and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're going in between here. I'm going to grab our needle. I'm just gonna make this a stitch wide. Okay. And I'm going to make a few passes to where I think the eyes are good to go. And we're going to skip 2 stitches and come up through the other side to do the other eye. Okay. Oh man. Alright, I counted 2, but I went in the wrong direction. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna go backwards. Alright, should have gone this way because I need those 2 stitches in between. Right, I'm going to do the mouth here. So I'm going to try to go into a half stitch gonna pierce in between. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm gonna want to try to come up in the middle between the eye and in between the eyes and a row down. Right, I'm gonna go through this little loop and pull. Right. Then I'm gonna go back into that same hole over the loop to make this permanent little smile. I'm gonna flip this inside out a little bit because I gotta tie these strands together. Double knot it. Right, and stuff this inside. Alright, so we have our little face. Alright. And then we have to add fiber fill. So I'm going to take some of this. You have to obviously get your own fiber fill. I got a 32 ounce on Amazon. You can find fiber fill at a hobby store online. Okay. Here's some of it. 32 ounces is a lot. I'm going to stuff this up. But if you get your own stuffing, enough of it, you can put as much as you want to get the desired firmness. For some reason, I like to have a nice firm plushie. So, not so plushy, I guess, if you're stuffing it really firmly. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is stick my hook back into that huge loop we made. I'm going to tighten it up with the feeder yarn. And then we're going to move on to the last step. So the last step, we're going to be doing some invisible decreasing stitches. So when you're doing this, you want to kind of, I'm using my middle finger to push down the fiber fill out of the way so that I don't accidentally, you know, put my hook through it. Because if I pull through, it's going to come out of the project and it's going to look very sloppy. Last one is difficult because it's getting smaller and it's hard to maneuver your hook when it's small. Alright, so I did them all. We're going to remove this marker. It says to fasten off and leave a tail for closing. So I'm going to cut this about here. To fasten off, what you do is you do a yarn over, and then we're going to pull this through the loop all the way out, and then we're going to pull on the excess piece to tighten that loop over here. I'm going to thread up my needle, alright, and then I'm going to weave my Needle in and out of the stitches, avoiding the fiber fill. Okay, once I'm back around, I can go and pull this closed. And then all that's left to do is to tie a knot somewhere. I'm not a sewer, so I'm just gonna fake this. I don't know, do the best knot I possibly can. And then once we're here, we just have to hide this piece. So I'm gonna go in somewhere right next to the excess piece. I'm going to come out through the other side. It doesn't matter where it is really. And I'm going to pull through. Then I'm going to take a scissor and just cut it flush. These are bad scissors. Alright. And then when you squish it, it'll hide itself in there. But we have the body of the tomato. So now what's left to do is to make the leafy top. Alright, so I have my green yarn here, and I'm going to show you guys again how to do the magic ring. So you're going to want to take some of this yarn and wrap it 3 times around your finger with a little bit of overage so that you can put your middle finger on top of it. Then you can take this opportunity to straighten out your strands, tighten them up a little bit. I'm going to slip this hook underneath these 3 strands, and I'm going to pull this back out, pulling this strand underneath these 2. Then from here, we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull the strand through this loop, and then I'm going to let go of my middle finger. I'm going to slip off these loops off my index finger, and then we're going to do our single crochet stitches. So do the amount of single crochet stitches that the instructions call for. Okay, so from here, we're going to pull this excess piece. We're going to watch to see which loop goes in first. Once we've identified that, then we are going to stop pulling. So make sure you grip the bottom stitches firmly, but not too tight, and start pulling this excess piece. So I just pulled it a little bit, and I see that this loop was the one that went in first. So what you want to do is pull out the lower end of that loop out. As you pull out, you're going to see the other loop disappear. That's exactly what we want. You want to keep pulling until that loop is completely into the magic ring like this. And then we're going to make this loop disappear by pulling on this excess piece. Right, and once that's gone in there, you want to pull in the opposite direction and a little bit of up to make sure that that hole is completely closed. So now what we can do is put our marker under the last stitch we made, and then we're going to do round 2. So round 2 is going to be increasing stitches. So you want to count back the number of stitches that the booklet is asking you to do and stick your hook into that last stitch. Alright, and we're going to do our invisible and our increasing stitches. Sorry. Alright, so now I'm going to remove my marker and I'm going to put it under the last stitch we made. And then we're going to move on to the next stitches. So this one is a little tricky. Let me show you how to do it. So we're going to do our single crochet stitches. Alright. Then we're asked to do a chain. So the chain is actually a basic stitch in crocheting, and all it is a yarn over and you pull the strand through the loop. Just like that, and that's it. So let me show you that again. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through the loop. So now we have 2 chains on here. So now from here what we're going to do is a single crochet stitch. But what you want to do is, I'm turning this kind of upside down. I'm going to count 2 chains from the hook. So here's 1 and here's 2. If you're looking at it this way, you can see 2 back bumps right here. These are the front and back loops. This is the back hump. So we're going to skip this first chain, and in the second chain, as the instructions state, we're going to put our hook into that back bump, like that. So here's the back bump, you flip it over, it's right underneath that braid. Okay? So from here we're going to do our single crochet stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, so once we're here we have to do a slip stitch. And we're going to do a slip stitch in the same single crochet stitch that we used here. So I'll show you how to do a slip stitch. Stick your hook. See, this is where we left off with our single crochet stitch before we did the chains. You want to stick your hook back into that stitch. And to do a slip stitch, all that is a yarn over, and we're going to pull this through both loops off your hook, and that's it. We've created this little nubby. So then we're going to be repeating from asterisk to asterisk all the way around. So do your single crochet stitches. Okay, then from here we're going to do 2 chains. So again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through another loop. If we turn it on its side, we then have to count second chain from hook. So here's 1, 2. We're going to stick it in the back bump. So put in your hook into that bump, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Okay, and once we're there, we're then going to do a slip stitch in the same stitch that we did that single crochet stitch. So put in your hook, and we're going to do a slip stitch, which is a yarn over, and pull through all the loops off your hook. So now we have 2 nubbies. Alright, so we're just gonna, I'll show you this one more time, you guys. So put in your single crochet stitches. Okay, then you're going to want to chain 2, and then second chain from hook, you're going to stick your hook into the back bump, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Then from here we're going to do a slip stitch back into that same stitch we did the single crochet stitch. So stick in your hook, and slip stitch is a yarn over, and you pull through all the loops. So now we have 3 nubbies. So I'm just going to continue this process all the way around. So right? I'm going to remove my marker, and then we're going to fasten off and leave some for sewing. So when you have to leave some for sewing, I like to do a double loop around the object, because that will leave you more than enough yarn to sew onto the tomato. Okay, so yarn over and pull through the loop all the way out. We're going to tighten this up. Alright, so we're going to thread our needle and we're going to sew this to our tomato. So we have to weed the needle through rounds 2 and 3. So 1, 2. So we're going to go just about here. Alright, so I actually want to put this, we're going to snake this through this side here. Okay, so I'm already in between. Oh, that's not in between. We're going to go in between 1, 2. So I'm going to go right here. We can tuck in this end like that. Then I'm going to just plop this on to our tomato. Okay, I'm going to come in here, and now I'm just going to sew these two together. Okay. When I'm back around, I'm going to find a moment here to tie into the tomato. So right about here. Right? And then same thing that I've been doing, we're going to go into a spot. If I can. I'm going to come out through some other side and randomly, right, pull this through. Then we're going to cut this flush to your project. And then just squeeze it back, and we have our little tomato. Look how cute that is. So I did the second tomato, so you have to make 2 of them. I made the second one off camera, So let's just pull out our bento box and put our little treats inside here. So got one here. The way that they have this set up, they've got this like this. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have all our buddies here. The Supremes. Okay. They were little bento buddies. Comment below, let me know how you did. But lunch is done, you guys. Great job. I mean, if you struggled a bit, that's fine. The more of these you do, the better it'll be. You can always make these again, make a ton of tomatoes for all we know. But comment below, let me know what you think. Click that notification bell because I think I'm gonna want to do dinner next. Let me see. Yeah, we have our snack, but that's gonna take a minute and I don't even know if I'll even have that ready. So we're just gonna skip over to dinner and do all those components. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Look at this cute stinking thing. I just can't. At any rate, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.